likely will not be here tonight, so we can proceed with the meeting.
Okay. Before roll call, I wanted to thank everyone for being here tonight, including the commission members who are attending remotely. Christo, for those of you watching on Channel 14 and streaming live, as noted at the top of the agenda, the governor issued an executive order in March that allows commission members to participate remotely. Tonight, Member Christo will be joining the meeting by phone. For those in attendance tonight, we've set up the room to meet the CDC recommended distancing guidelines and the executive order from the governor. The city also made several accommodations for the public to provide comments on the agenda items. At that point, I'd like to call the meeting to order on today. Good Lord, the days are blending together. April 8th, 2020. I'd like to call for roll call.
Becker.
Here?
O'Flaherty.
Here.
Klein.
Here.
Doe.
Here.
Chair Maxwell.
Here.
We have a quorum.
I'd like to call for an approval of the agenda. Any deletions or additions?
I make a,
approval.
Motion for approval by Klein.
I second.
Second by, I'm sorry, Tricia, I forgot.
O'Flaherty.
Flaherty, I apologize. Seconded by Flaherty. So moved.
We get a voice vote on that?
Pardon?
We get a voice vote on that motion, please?
We need to vote on it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Call for, roll call for a vote.
I would just go, all those in favor?
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion passed. This is the public participation portion of the meeting where anybody that would like to speak.
Let's get the minutes approved first.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought we just did.
That was the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Better living through chemistry with my knee. Call for approval of the minutes from the last meeting,
March 4th.
March 4th. Motion to approve.
Motion.
I actually have some corrections to the minutes.
Okay.
Under approval of minutes, item C, it has Vice Chair Maxwell. That should be Vice Chair Doe. And on the third page, near the end of the bottom, just before the roll call, it says Chair Maxwell gave the public one more opportunity. That should say Vice Chair Doe.
Okay. And to approve those changes,
Yeah, I would just ask for motion to approve the minutes, March 4th, with the changes as mentioned.
I'll move to approve minutes with changes.
motion moved by Sack,
Second.
seconded by Klein. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed, same sign. Motion passed. At this point, I'd like to go to the public participation portion of the meeting. Anyone that would like to make a statement or address the council with anything that is not on the agenda can step forward now and state your name. And no one in that arena. Moving on to new business. Public hearing petition Ventus Tech Services LLC for approval of the annexation rezoning and conceptual plan for the data center on approximately 505 acres of acres of property generally located east of Route 23 and south of Gurler Road. I'd like to note that the schedule for the public hearing for Ventus Tech Services LLC will be continued to April 22nd, 2020, so that all the relevant plans and plats are included with the petition. If there's anyone in the audience from the public who would like to speak, we can take their comments, ask for a motion, or at this time, and we'll record them for that meeting. No one?
I make a motion.
Motion to,
I move that the Planning and Zoning Commission continue the public hearing for Ventus Tech Services LLC to Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020 at 6 o'clock PM in the City Council chambers in the DeKalb Municipal Building located at 200 South 4th Street, DeKalb, Illinois.
motion to approve?
I'll second the motion.
I think we need a first. Oh,
He
you
made
go
the
okay.
first. He made the-
So moved. Sorry.
And we get a roll call on this one.
Roll call?
Becker,
Yes.
O'Flaherty,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Doe,
Yes.
Chair Maxwell.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Moving on to the second item, public hearing petition B33 Northland Plaza LLC for approval of amendments to ordinance 2019-004 and waive petition from Articles 5, 9, and 10 and 12 of the UDO regarding building and parking setbacks, maximum site coverage, lots having to front on public street, and to permit existing utility connections and other approvals as required in association of the approval of the final plat of Northland Plaza, third re-subdivision located within the address range of 2420 to 2572 Sycamore Road. Comments?
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Kevin Buick. I'm the attorney representing Bridge 33 Capital, whose entity B33 Northland Plaza LLC is the petitioner. Commissioner Doe, are you able to hear me, or should I go closer to the microphone?
I can hear you fine, Mr. Buick. Thank you.
You bet. All right. So as indicated, the presentation that we'll be making tonight is seeking essentially approval of the final plat of a third re-subdivision of what's currently known as the Northland Plaza Shopping Center. Actually has been known as that for some time. Bridge 33 Capital is a Seattle commercial investment firm that has owned the shopping center for some time. They've got properties that are scattered throughout the country, several others in the state of Illinois, including Burbank Crossing, Westport Commons in Chicago, Woods Creek Commons in Algonquin. But essentially, they are the primary owner and have operated this shopping center for some time now. In January of 2019, they approached this commission and the city council asking for a second re-subdivision, which contemplated splitting off one additional lot. That was necessary to bring in a tenant, Planet Fitness, that has a corporate policy of being required to own the real estate where they operate their establishments. And so this is currently a two-lot subdivision. What B33 is asking for tonight is to essentially break off all 5 of the outbuildings, not including what you're seeing on the screen is the gray large building. Now, a portion of that has been divided for the Planet Fitness parcel that already exists. But right now, what they're attempting to do is simply divide the shopping center up so that each outbuilding is its own separate lot. I'll apologize. If you look in the narrative statement, you're going to see some confusing lot numbers that were part of the first iteration of the draft. With comments from city staff and Mr. Olson in particular, we've renumbered. So essentially, you've got an 8-lot subdivision that's being proposed, lots 1 through 8, with lot 1 essentially being the large building except for the Planet Fitness parcel. Lot 2 would be the Planet Fitness parcel. Lot 3, what I guess I would call the Egg Haven building in the corner. Lot 4, the Panera and Subway building. Lot 5 is strictly detention. Lot 6 is Panda Express and other ancillary tenants. Lot 7 is the Buffalo Wild Wings parcel, and Lot 8 is the building that's kind of located in the southwest corner of the shopping center. Now, the shopping center operates and will continue to operate, if this is approved, as a cohesive unit. There's a reciprocal easement agreement that's in place that governs all of the cross easements across the premises, all of the parking obligations, some certain use restrictions and things of that ilk, but that will not change. The REA is in place to kind of keep everything together. What the subdivision, if approved, would do would just simply be to allow each of the buildings to be sold individually if there is a purchaser that was interested in doing that. What I'm told is, and Bridge 33 has a good deal of experience in this, but what I'm told is that's actually a more common arrangement. It's less and less common these days to have one simple master owner. And so they're just trying to facilitate this. I'll candidly say they have no current pending interest in purchase any of these parcels, and given all that's going on currently, I doubt that there'll be an immediate contemplation of a sale or one in any time in the near future. They haven't taken any of these to market. But what I'm told is what they'll do generally is, oftentimes there'll be local investors who may be interested in buying a building, or more likely to attract and hold some of the quality occupants, they may be able to bring in someone that is like Planet Fitness, able to and willing to own their own property and control the buildings that way. So what we're asking for is approval of this third re-subdivision. What we are seeking in doing that is an amendment to the planned unit development plan that would accommodate these divisions. The buildings are in place, they're not moving, but the setbacks would need to be accommodated in this appropriate division. So what we're asking for essentially are waivers from 4 separate chapters of the UDO. Article 5.08 would address the building setbacks and the maximum site coverage. Essentially, it would accommodate the buildings in place, let them stay where they're at. It would also modify, there is a 90% impermeable surface requirement. I mean, you can't have more than 90% impermeable surface area. And some of the lots, because they're interior lots, would need relief from this provision. But city staff has recommended, and we would certainly accommodate and accept the reality that 90% of the entire site will still meet the impermeability guidelines, so we'd be covered there. We'd need waivers from Article 9 requirements, which mandate lots must front a public street. Lots 2 and 7 in this subdivision would not front a public street, but again, would be accommodated through the REA, and access is preserved in that manner. We'd need waivers of Article 10 to accommodate all of the existing utility connections, and we would need waivers from Article 12, which addresses parking setbacks. Because the comprehensive parking lot is currently in place, it covers everything, but obviously the parking setbacks are not going to be capable of being mandated on the interior lots. We would continue to adhere to a 10-foot setback from Sycamore Road and Barbara Green Road for the parking setbacks. So again, we're here seeking approval of the plat that would allow this re-subdivision. There won't be anything changing. There won't be anything really happening. No new tenants are proposed in this context, but hopefully this would set the shopping center up for future success. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, I have a question.
Mr. Klein.
So there would be no additional access points onto Route 23?
That's correct. Nothing would change from what currently
For example, I'm
exists.
thinking where Egg Haven is and Panera, they share the same entrance, basically. So if the Egg Haven building is sold, that still would be the same?
Correct, and it would be subject to the cross easement provisions that are part of the REA. So nothing would change in terms of the shopping center's current makeup.
So if that hypothetical buyer of that building tears it down and builds something new, they'd still be subject to the same restrictions that we're talking about tonight?
Yes, they would.
Okay.
Yes, they would. Any other questions?
City staff for their presentation.
Yeah, just the staff report in your packet. The applicant went through it very thoroughly, what they're requesting and why. So really nothing too much to add. Again, it's just no new buildings or anything, just creating lots, so that does cause a few issues with some of the setbacks. And the setbacks are still being maintained on the perimeter roads, Sycamore Road and Barbara Green, in terms of buildings, but with creating the lots, the internal setbacks would have to be modified. And as mentioned too, important that there's an REA, so there's cross-access easements, so there's shared responsibility, or it's covered in terms of access to the roadways, maintenance a big important too, so we don't have the issue here where we have over in DeKalb Market Square where there's, some private drives that are not being properly maintained. So that's not an issue here too with the RA. That will continue in the future where there's maintenance will be taken care of regardless of what a lot that is. So staff would recommend approval. There's a sample motion in Exhibit A that indicates the waivers that were described by the applicant, and we recommend approval.
Okay. At this point, I'll close the public hearing and ask the council if they have any questions.
No?
No, I mean, it seems pretty clear.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask for a motion.
Want me to read it? Based upon the submitted petition and testimony presented, I move the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend to the City Council approval of amendments to Ordinance 2019-004 and to waive provisions of the Unified Development Ordinance and approval of the final plat of Northland Plaza 3rd re-subdivision dated 4/2/20 located along Sycamore Road, subject to the amendments, waivers, and conditions as indicated in Exhibit A.
I ask for a second.
I'll second.
Seconded?
Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
Let's get a roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry, roll call.
Yeah.
Becker,
Yes?
O'Flaherty,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Doe,
Yes.
Chair Maxwell.
Yes.
Motion passes.
You don't charge your client for something this quick, do you?
You're just lucky I didn't tell the historical story of my experience with this parking lot. Some other time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any city reports?
Just briefly, again, thanks for everybody being here tonight. Next commission meeting, April 22nd. We'll have, of course, a continued hearing for Project Ventus and also a public hearing for a proposed cannabis dispensary at 818 West Lincoln Highway in the Junction Shopping Center. You were sent an email regarding that hearing coming up. So then also a hearing regarding a text amendment to the UDO regarding adding data center to the list of permitted uses in some of our industrial districts and a definition and a slightly other change to a plan development process. So those are related to the Project Ventus site. So we have those 3 hearings at our next meeting.
Okay. Does the commission have anything to report? No?
Nope.
Okay. With that, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Seconded? Seconded by Mr. Schleck. Roll call, please.
Voice vote's fine on that.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign.
Right.
Motion passed. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Be safe.
Thank you.